this just because it's so easy to be like, fuck Walt Whitman, or ignore something like a text like this, like we did, like we admitted that we did with transcendentalism all through school, things like that. Like it's easy to do that. So I
It
was,
also, yeah, it also like wasn't a big part of like my education. It
yeah,
was like they mentioned Emerson and Thoreau, like they mentioned Walden, you know,
yeah,
mentioned Whitman maybe.
that's something interesting. Like I've been thinking about this more recently, just kind of how much of my education, I'm not blaming anybody or any, I mean, it's my own fault really if I didn't go through and read these things, but I am kind of fascinated by how preoccupied my education was in terms of studying English at the college level, just how preoccupied it was with the 20th century and not much
Really?
else. Well, just not much else besides, yeah, 20th century, basically from the modernists till contemporary stuff, was the majority of the classes offered.
Damn, I
Maj-
didn't touch any of that. Like, I think we did like Mark Twain. Well, like we
which,
did some basics. We did Shakespeare, Twain,
yeah,
uh, uh, some of the like what's that like Salem witch trial one,
Crucible.
Crucible.
That's 20th century, though. I mean, Arthur Miller, like, I'd say
Oh yeah.
Twain is like turn of the century. He had a few before, and then he had kind of got. I think Huck. I don't know this, but I think Huck Finn was 20th century, wasn't it? Or is it just before,
Dude, I don't know. I fucking hated it.
like
I
1890s?
I barely read it. I was like, I can't stand
You
this.
didn't like Huck Finn?
I didn't like Huck Finn. I didn't especially like Romeo and Juliet, but I liked it better than Huck Finn. I liked The Crucible better than Huck Finn.
I guess it's like Huck Finn is very much like a boy kind of book too. Like just kind of like it follows a young boy, so it might appeal more to young men than it would to young women in that regard. So I could understand why.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is interesting. Like the more I think back on it, yeah, like what periods are skipped over majority of these places. I guess it depends what school you went to, how big the English department is, how many experts they have on staff in whatever period. But there are these huge gaps. If you just get like a normal English degree, like you'll study Shakespeare, you'll probably hit Milton, so you'll hit those guys. But then it's kind of a free for all. You might get a few guys that come out like Pope and stuff in the 1700s, but like you could kind of easily ignore that and like still get through school. And then it's mostly 20th century. Like it's mostly modernism to contemporary basically. And it is kind of, and then whatever, we're kind of obsessed with our most recent period, like everybody is. Why wouldn't we be, kind of thing? But it is kind of, I don't know, just something I've been thinking about. I'm getting off topic.